Huddersfield were leading, but Danny Brough was 1 for 4 for goal kicking at that stage. So there was serious damage done to his record there. Stats. Yeah. No, if it was Leeds, it'd be 1 for 4 overall with like 4 different kickers.
And no, we've been pretty consistent.
In fact, it's Warrington until Tyrone Roberts took over the goal kicking responsibility. Been a bit like that themselves this year. But yeah, Jake Wardle scored a really quality try right near the end to take it to close. The conversion was missed, which wasn't a really difficult conversion. Then a tough penalty was missed as well by Danny Brough. So and that ends Huddersfield's interest in things. Really, shout out to Jake Mamo for getting a hat trick, a first half hat trick at that. Only one of which was converted, so well done to him. And Bryson Goodwin he scored a try in both halves. He's really impressing, isn't he, now at this stage of the season? He's doing a lot of
stats in this game alone. You've used all the acronyms.
Pretty much all of them, yeah. He's done a lot. Shall we get to those stats then? Because all I saw was Danny Brough missing kicks, to be perfectly honest about this game. Okay. Warrington won despite being ill-disciplined, a 10-7 penalty count given up by them. They had 3 fewer errors, though, 3 more breaks, and over 350 more metres than visitors Huddersfield. So all those stats combined suggest maybe that it shouldn't have been as close a win as it was with that. So well done to them there. Bryson Goodwin, 2 tries, 7 tackle busts, 171 metres, 3 clean breaks, 3 successful offloads, all the positives. Tom Lynham with a try in 153 metres. Stefan Ratchford, 1 try, 1 try assist, 7 tackle busts, 149 metres, 2 clean breaks, 3 successful offloads, so Steph Ratchford delivers as well. And Chris Hill, 1 try assist and 137 metres.
Chris Hill.
Chris Hill's an interesting one for me in terms of dream team selection, because he's still bang up there in terms of tackle success rate. I don't think he missed a tackle in this game. In fact, he didn't miss a tackle, he didn't give a penalty away. He had made 30-odd tackles. And he did stuff going forward as well, which is what got him in the stats roundup. Yeah, he's been a grubby twat this year.
Yes.
So it's hard to reconcile those 2 aspects for me. But anyway, Jake Mamo, 3 tries, 134 metres, 2 clean breaks. Lee Gaskell, 1 try, 1 try assist, 110 metres. Innes Senior, 6 tackle busts and 117 metres. He was singled out for praise by Coach Simon Wolford after the game about his development and what's more to come out of him. Paul Clough, 120 metres as well. So he's kept up a pretty consistent season, actually, as Paul Clough, when people doubted whether he could play at this level, really. Okay, last game of the Super 8s. Saturday afternoons, tea time kickoff, Catalan Dragons versus the St Helens. Now, normally for these sorts of games, I just watch them. But for some reason, having tipped Catalans in this game and it being against St Helens, I got really involved in wanting them to win. And that wasn't to be the case. It finished 26-22 to the visiting Saints. They were 14-12 up at half-time. 7,810 were there to watch it. Liam Moore was the referee, and he will come up in these match reviews,
I'm sure. Mal Karma Tios says, more Cup Karma plus more non-neutral refs.
Gary Ormiston, at Gary Ormiston 1, said, the talking points of an RL game shouldn't be about the performance of the referee, but guess mine and a few more reviews will echo each other. I don't often give criticism towards the man in the middle, but feel after tonight I have to. What can we do to improve the referee performance? Do we need help from an Aussie influence, i.e. Matt Chechin, currently has stepped down from the NRL duties, would be ideal to shake us up? Yes, get Matt Chechin up and signed onto the match official staff for next year if we can. That would be fantastic, I think.
Well, we've got a few more to talk about refs, so let's go through them and then we'll chat about the refs, because I think that's a bigger discussion.
Okay.
All right. So St David.
God, you can tell that you've taken to hosting podcasts pretty well, haven't you?
Welcome to Super Duper League Pod. Well, that was St David says, well, that was better. We obviously missed Barber and Roby as well as Morgan and Pedro, but showed we needed aggression and determination after the recent low energy showings. Far from our best, but a step in the right direction. Lomax outstanding. Onwards.
And Railroad Drunk said, don't agree with the social media experts that the ref was biased. He was inexperienced and failed to curb Catalan's strong arm rushing, i.e. offside tactics against young naive Saints lads. Moa should have seen red. Greg Bird equals a good actor, sign him up as a pantomime villain. I think he already fulfills that role amply, Railroad Drunk, so don't worry about that. Sam Mower should not have seen red for a tackle that was barely late and was not high on, yes, a kid, but that's not his fault that the person passing the ball at the line was a kid.
Yes.
I thought the sin binning was harsh.
The ref, it's not a name that I recognise really well. Is he recently?
Liam Moore, it's probably his first year of consistently refereeing at Super League level. He was appointed onto the full-time panel towards the back end of last year.
Yeah. Because I don't think I wouldn't recognise him. So, I mean, but this is the thing, they're going to make mistakes.
And he is relatively young.
Yeah.
To be fair, and I think some of the things Railroad Drunk has pointed out are fair, even though I disagree with the comment on the Mower decision. Also, anyone saying the referee was biased, then the reason you're saying the referee is biased is because you're biased. Fans are way more biased than anyone. Fans are probably more biased than most of the players, of the coaches, staff.
If you watch a game as a neutral, it is completely different how you take the refs' decisions. I have sat next to you.
It's hard to be
sat next to you at Wigan, watching Wigan play, and I've gone, "Oh, that's fair." It was interesting at the Challenge Cup final. This is the first year that my granddad and I picked different teams.
Yeah.
And we both reacted completely differently to the ref decisions. It was phenomenal. You're always going to assume that the ref's against you when a decision doesn't go your way.
And I think most people have become Catalan for a day.
Yeah.
And beyond, I think, a little bit. And kind of hoping Catalan might beat St Helens. So the bias would have been in that. I wanted Catalans to win without a doubt. I do think the referee made a few poor decisions, and more of those poor decisions leaned in favour of the Saints than against the Saints. I don't think he decided the outcome because the Saints scored a try for forward pass, had a forward pass try ruled back, and arguably scored another try for forward pass. But the point is, they were making the opportunities, and they were going to take them at some point. Because that's what they were doing to this Catalan side. They were actually quite threatening. I didn't enjoy watching the game because of it did feel like it was getting to the players. The Catalan players were reacting badly. I think the Saints players reacted badly to a few things as well. I think Mark Percival probably could have been penalised after that the try that he got ruled off for the forward pass, especially given the pass he'd thrown to Johnny Lomax 30 yards back up the field. That was really fucking forward, not just a bit forward. It wasn't called forward, so the scrum could have been out near halfway rather than 10 metres out from the sticks. He still chatted, and that's not on. But so many, I'm singling Mark Percival out because I'm talking about that incident. I'm not singling him out as the only person who does it. It happens too much.
It happens a lot, and Catalan do have a way of winding the game up at the end if it's not going their way.
Yeah.
They'll slow it down, they'll have an injury or two, and they'll try and get it to go their way. And it is something that's annoying, especially as we've played them and they've done it a few times. But seeing it as a neutral as well, that doesn't help when they're trying to carry favour.
Yeah. No, I agree. And it's made a few people fall out with Catalan over the last few years. The Wembley run helped us fall back in love with the French sort of to an extent, so I hope that we don't lose that so quickly. I sort of feel like Saints did actually deserve it, even though they were assisted along the way with some of the decisions. I would say, to be honest, which is a bit weird, but Saints' forwards were, I think, more direct, a little bit more determined, and actually caused problems with the ball. I don't remember Catalans causing too many problems with the ball throughout. Julian Busquets' nose was a bit of a mess in this one. That needs mentioning. And Kenny Edwards scored a try, and I just want to mention Kenny Edwards just quickly because he came out with some comments about abuse that him and his teammates are getting. It's centered. He pulled out a couple of examples of stuff. One of them was some trouble at Leeds where they had to walk through all the fans. But I know we'll talk about Leeds stuff when we get to Leeds. But that was one of the things. The other thing was obviously the outrage after the throwing the ball into the crowd incident. What I would say to Kenny Edwards is don't say that, and then in the last quote that's you do in this interview, I know it's been pieced together by the interviewer to put it in the order they want to put it in, or dress it up how they want to, or the editor, or what have you. But don't then turn around and say, oh, but by the way, all the rest of shit, because don't expect to not get abuse, but be
able to say what you want in the press.
Yeah. Now, if people are spitting at players and things like that, that's absolutely disgusting and should not happen. But similarly, if people are driving a car with a suspended licence and when they're pulled over by the police they flee from the police and don't face the charges that they should be up against for it, or people who think it's appropriate if you're having an argument with your partner to pour a drink over their head, or people who think it's perfectly legitimate to take a piss sample for someone so that they might not get caught at something. If you think all of those things are appropriate, then they're equally as inappropriate as abuse from fans to players. So Kenny Edwards has no moral ground whatsoever to say anything like this at all. At all. So, no. Kenny Edwards, no.
Bad Kenny Edwards. I
have a weird feeling.
I
know that Wigan are rumoured to be in for him, and that.
Well, they do like a bad boy.
He would be one of those players that's tough.
They're like a jilted ex or Wigan.
Tough to support. I'd be more inclined to throw my support behind Gareth Park. He has more of a demon than Kenny Edwards in a weird way. But no, that's what I wanted to mention about that. In terms of anything else from the game itself, did you have anything you wanted to mention?
No, not really. I think you've said it all. They did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
It's St Helens got that off the back. Now they have not got the league leaders shield now, have they?
Well, they've got 200-point advantage on the points difference and 6 points, so basically but not officially, no.
Yeah.
They'll wait till next week to get that.
I did like how the complaints after the game, when Sky showed the shield being packed away, the team complained that was disheartening. You were obviously at the game, but Sky had the shield there like they normally do, and they had it filmed ready to give it out. And when Wigan obviously won, they packed it away and they walked out with it to leave the stadium, and that was shown on Sky. And there was loads of complaints about that.
Pathetic.
Yeah.
Why would you complain about that? I tell you what,
drama.
If it was the other way around, you'd be loving that.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
11 sets of fans think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
One set of fans have been petty about it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter. It's not because they're Saints fans. It's because any fan would do the same.
Think about what they did with the helicopter. With the helicopter, with Leeds and Wigan, that's one of the greatest memories. Turn the helicopter around; it was on its way, and it's drama.
It's always fun as well when they show it in the stadium, packing them up, packing it away, and the opposition fans will cheer. Yeah. It happened at Warrington a couple of years ago when we played them in
the
Anthony Gelling game. Yeah.
No. People need to remember that this sport is entertainment.
Entertainment, yeah.
And you need to make things entertaining.
Talking about my last point on this game is someone who did make things entertaining was Johnny Lomax.
Yep.
And it's a difficult decision for St Helens because Johnny Lomax has played great at 6. Johnny Lomax's England future looks like it could be in the halves, yet he is probably going to be the best fullback on that roster next year, unless Lachlan Coote deal comes through, which maybe will change that conversation. But he's one who could play 6 or 1 and probably be equally as good as either position. It's going to be interesting to see what Saints do with that. But if they don't do anything and play with Johnny Lomax there, they're not going to lose too much, I don't think. Okay. Stats. With Catalan going under 1,000 metres and below 90% tackle success rate, stats support that Saints should have won this game, and they did. They just made one more break, and both sides scored 4 tries, though. Saints made over 200 more metres and tackled at nearly 9% better tackle success rate, but 19 errors made, 6 more than their hopes, helped to keep it close. Individually, Mark Percival, a try assist, 10 tackle busts, 125 metres, 3 clean breaks. Tommy Makinson, 9 tackle busts, 116 metres. Luke Thompson, who was very good, 137 metres. Zeb Tyre, 108 metres. Only one person hit the stats benchmarks for the Catalan Dragons. That was Sam Mower, 119 metres, despite spending those 10 minutes in the sin bin. Okay. Do you want to take us through the standings then for the Super League?
That is it. That is the top 4 confirmed. St Helens have their hands almost on the league leaders' shield. and just waiting to lift it when it gets back to the stadium. Wigan have 3 points over Castleford, who are 2 points above Warrington, Huddersfield, Wakefield, and Hull FC and Catalan cannot make this.